The holidays are a festive time of year, a time for giving. But today in Jupiter, Florida, nothing will be given away. Victory will need to be earned at the Bowlero Elite Series. Anchoring the broadcast are two Hall of Famers, football's Jerome Bettis and bowling's Norm Duke. We have returned to the spotlight for the first Bowlero Elite Series champion, Luis Gonzalez, as he squares off against fellow amateur Garrett Chauvin. And a marquee matchup between Hall of Famer Tommy Jones and the best bowler in the world, Jason Belmonte. But only one man will win the $100,000 grand prize and capture this prestigious title. Oh my!
Yes.
Clutch.
Yes, he did.
Clutch Gonzalez. $270,000, Richard. He's striking no matter what they got out there.
That's the kind of delivery that's going to knock over 20 pins.
Yeah, had it on lock tonight. Anthony Simonson gets it done. NBC Sports is proud to bring you coverage of the third and final Bowlero Elite Series for 2019 as we welcome you to the Sunshine State. This is Bowlero Jupiter. Hello everyone and happy holidays. Todd Harris with you alongside two Hall of Famers. Of course, the PBA Hall of Famer Norm Duke and the NFL Hall of Famer, the bus, Jerome Bettis. We welcome you to the Bowlero Elite Series, and this is a great program. 8 pros, 8 amateurs. They work their way down to be the last one standing. If you win the tournament, you get $100,000. The runner-up takes $25,000. So a big payout either way for the pros and the amateurs. All right. We'll start off talking about the amateurs, guys. It'll be the second match of the day. We've got Luis Gonzalez taking on Garrett Chauvin Bus. In Chicago, we saw Luis Gonzalez. This guy can flat out play.
He can play, and if there was ever a thought that an amateur couldn't beat a pro, he tore that out the first series event, and he's a left-hander. He knows how to throw. He's been bowling since he was 3 years old, and he's going to be formidable as a great left-hander here.
And how about Chauvin? What do you think?
Well, also a left-hander, and you know he bowled in college at Saginaw Valley State University, near your hometown.
Yeah, my hometown, yeah.
Hey, more importantly, I was over here working out with him this morning. He seemed to be the coolest of the 4 players, and in this event, you better be cool when it comes down to the pressure-packed endings.
All right, we started off with 8 amateurs. We have made the field all the way down to 2. Let's find out how they got this far.
First round, I ended up bowling Amy. I mean, I go into every match just thinking it's another opponent, it's 10 frames, anything can happen in one game. Go out there, make the 10 best shots you can, and hopefully you come away with the win. Key for me for that match was just to stay calm and just slow down with my tempo. At the end of the day, you're in control of your shot. You gotta do what you have to do to make that shot to the best of your ability. The second match was pretty intense. There was a time where I was down 12 or 13 pins, I believe. In the 8th and 9th frame, I knew if I was able to get a double in there, it would put a little bit more pressure on him, and I think that was the key to the match. It was a very intense match. It was a match that you would want to see at a tournament going down to the final ball.
In round 1, I faced Mike Ewing. I could tell we were both a little bit nervous. I mean, you know, big, huge opportunity, stage we've never been on. We just kind of grinded those first 6 frames, really. And finally, I put a 4-bagger together, and that was really when I started to feel, okay, let's do this. I advanced and went on to bowl Dougie Heron, Dougie Vision as he's known. He has a big personality, and he was trying to razz me a little bit, but I made sure to try and shut that out. I threw 2 really good shots on the 8th and 9th frame. That was what gave me the win.
All right, let's take a look at the brackets, and then there were 2, and it should be a great one. Garrett Chauvin taking on Luis Gonzalez. That will be coming up shortly as we turn our attention to our first match of the night, the pros, and that is Tommy Jones taking on Jason Belmonte. Now, these are both fantastic bowlers. Norm, you know them well. Who do you give the edge to in this one?
Yeah, 2 of the world's best. And, you know, you got to give the edge to the #1 player in the world, Jason Belmonte, who's had the best year. I think that if Tommy Jones gets on a roll, he's got a chance. Yep. But if he doesn't, Belmo.
you know, the beautiful thing about when these guys are pros, both of these guys are established veterans, right? So now it's just about who's the hotter guy going in, who finds his spot, who gets on the roll, and who finishes the other guy off.
And let's not forget, $100,000 is on the line. Right now, let's find out how Tommy Jones got this far.
The first round I bowled Shannon O'Keefe. She was a little rusty because she'd been on vacation for the last 10 days. Shannon made a pretty good shot in the 8th frame. She left a 10 pin, and then she missed it. An unfortunate mistake on her part. And when she did, then I pretty much just needed a couple marks to finish out the game and to advance to the next round. Bowled Marshall Kent in the semifinal with the pro side. He had a couple bad breaks. He 4-9'd early. Lanes kind of transitioned a little differently than they did earlier in the first match. I don't know if it was a different pair or what. He changed balls. I moved around a lot more that match than I did the first match. It was kind of a game of chess. Fortunate enough to strike in the 9th and strike in the 10th, so then it was all said and done.
So Tommy Jones, the first semifinalist here in the pro division. For the official introductions, let's check in with Mark Fratto.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bowlero here in Jupiter, Florida. It's now time to meet the pros. First up, an all-time top 50 PBA bowler and a recent electee into the PBA Hall of Fame from Simpsonville, South Carolina, Tommy Jones.
Tommy Jones, extremely talented, especially tonight. He will be looking for $100,000, but he will have his hands full with the #1 bowler in the world. They call him Belmo, Jason Belmonte.
I don't like watching someone else determine my fate. In both of my matches, that's what happened. So in the first round, I played against Anthony Simonson and got off to a really good start. Anthony got off to a bit of a slow start with a split in the 2nd frame. Even though he split early, I knew I was going to be pushed. He did strike all the way out until the 10th, and I knew that I don't want to give him an opportunity, so I was going to make 2 really good shots in the 10th frame. First one was great, and then the 11th frame, I left a split, which gave an opening to Anthony. And unfortunately for him, he got the first strike, couldn't get the second one, and I advanced through. In the 2nd round, I played Carl Troop, and it was quite the opposite. I started a little slow, and Kyle started really hot with 3 or 4, even 5 in a row, I think. And then it came down again to the 10th frame, where I knew if I get the first strike in the 10th, a spare would be all I would need in the 11th frame to win. I left a stubborn 7 pin, made it, and then the field shot was critical. If I strike here, I couldn't lose. I could only force a tie if Kyle was to get all 3 in the 10th. And then I think the 12th shot for him was similar to my shot against Anthony. And I could see, 3/4 of the way down that it wasn't going to hit the pocket. Then I just had to hope that 1 pin stood, and it did, and then I went through.
So that's how Jason Belmonte made it to the semifinals, but what is he going to wear? Last time we saw him, he was on the broadcast with us, rocking a 3-piece and a tie. So what does Belmo have in store? Well, he tried on a jacket, didn't like it, handed it over to Kyle Troop, and we are waiting for the big reveal. We now check in again with Mark Fratto.
And now, a 4-time ESPY winner, 5-time PBA Player of the Year. He qualified for the semis with a 247 and a 1-pin victory. From Orange, Australia, Jason Belmonte.
The professional bracket. Jason Belmonte and Tommy Jones have worked their way down. One of them is moving on to the final and an opportunity for $100,000. So $100,000 goes to the winner, $25,000 goes to the runner-up. So not a bad payday if you make it into the final. A lot of pressure as the 2 pros step up, and we are ready to go. Tommy Jones will be the first, and we'll see what the 2-time PBA major title winner can do here in Jupiter. start out. So we've got contrasting styles here, Norm. We've got the single thrower and the two-handed thrower. So we're going to have your work cut out for you. You and Jerome are going to have to break this down and pick out the flaws.
Right now, there's no flaws. It's 1 for 1.
No, these guys are ultimate pros, so you're not going to see many flaws at all.
And a nice start for the 5-time PBA Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte. Belmonte from New South Wales, a town called Orange. Talked to him just moments ago, and he's excited to get back home to see his family, his kids, Aria, Hugo, and Sylvie.
You might think that the first shot you throw on television is the hardest. It's always been the second shot for me. Just so you know, these are the 2 shots I'm most interested in.
Jerome, we talk about the velocity he throws out. For a power bowler like you can appreciate what he's doing out there.
I can appreciate that. You know, the velocity he puts on that ball and that the revolutions, the rotation. Right. I mean, it's pretty impressive to see. And once he gets going, it's going to be hard to get him off his spot. Now, the left lane versus the right lane, that's the question mark. Will they see the difference in the two early?
Oh, they will see it, but they've already seen it and made their adjustments, and I think both of them are lined up. It's just about making shots right now, keeping yourself together.
Tommy Jones seems to be right in the same pocket, the 41-year-old from Simpsonville, South Carolina. Wow, that was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it's about as good as you can get right here for TJ.
He knows it's he knows it's right in the pocket, right where he wants
like
to
a
be.
Steph Curry 3, doesn't even wait for it to go through the basket.
Exactly.
Yeah, in his mind, he thinks he needs every one of them because he's bowling against Belmonte.
I'll tell you what, the boys, they are feeling it today.
That's as good as it gets.
It's setting up for a very good event.
Still to come here in Jupiter, Florida, the Bowlero Elite Series. We got the battle at the arcade with your guide, Kyle Troop. And then we'll answer the big question, where's the beef? Jerome's got some experience with that burger. And the main course, it's the Duke taking on the Bus. Who will reign supreme in the Sunshine State? We'll have that when we return.
You know, the biggest moment in my career that I look towards is when I broke the record with the 11th major, and that moment realizing I have accomplished one of the hardest things to do, which is win a major championship more than anyone else in the history of our game. And that really took me back, and it was very emotional.
Getting inducted in the Hall of Fame is something you dream of and you live for. It's kind of like one of those things you kind of expect the call to come, but you don't really know, so it's kind of surreal at the moment.
On the broadcast team, I enjoyed, calling the action, but I tell you, I never, ever want to broadcast when I have an opportunity to bowl.
My body's healthy again. My goal is to get back to being one of the best bowlers in the world, and my goal's always been to get to at least 25 titles, so we got 19, so that's the goal. And now that we're back full-time on tour, thanks to Bowlero Corporation, it's an awesome feat and looking forward to it.
Now that I'm here, I have an opportunity to bowl on the BES TV show. I'm going to make sure that I take every opportunity that comes my way. Otherwise, next time I'll be calling the action again and be miserable watching the guys bowl for $100,000.
The Bowlero Elite Series has provided a lot of money for us to bowl for. $100,000 on top. Santa Claus come early with a big bag of cash. That'd be great, and I'd like to take that home and send a big Christmas card to the Bowlero Elite Series.
What an amazing story and career for Tommy Jones. This is your last event before you get inducted into the Pro Bowling Hall of Fame. So it's been flawless so far. Is that the kind of game you need to have in order to take on Jason Belmonte?
Oh, absolutely. Jason's been one of the best bowlers in the world, or the best bowler in the world for the last probably 5 to 7 years. So it's going to take a really good game, off to a good start. Going to have to keep it going for the last 7 frames.
Excellent. Good luck to you, Tommy. Todd?
And Tommy Jones, the 2001 PBA Rookie of the Year, off to a great start as Jason Belmonte now steps up. You know, it's amazing to me, Norm, as a pro bowler, you travel. This guy really travels. We're talking from Australia to come up to some of these events, and it never seems to face him. The jet lag, it never seems to be an issue for him.
No, it always bothered me, and I can't figure out how he can bowl so well on jet lag every single week, but he just never seems to falter.
How do you place it so well? I mean, Jerome, you've had a 300 before. How do you place it so well consecutively?
It's about consistency. You know, this sport, it's all about consistency. And when you look at them, you know, game after game after game, they're not going to miss their spot many times. Most of the time, it's going to be a reaction to the pins that may, you know, give them a 9 or something like that. But for the most part, they're going to hit their spot every single time.
Yeah, their accuracy is much better than most bowlers, but their ability to hit it the same every time is the big thing. You don't want to grab too much or mishit it. That's what gets you in trouble.
Oh!
I had to speak about that.
I was going to say the announcer jinx. So what happened here, Norm?
Yeah, he missed this at the bottom of the swing, and once it got wide, it just doesn't have enough to pull up to the pocket.
And it seems as though that left lane is a little bit different right down in the pin area. It just doesn't snap as much.
Yeah, Jerome, when you and I were playing over there earlier, the left lane was a little more hooking, but because you were standing left, it seemed to wiggle down lane more often.
And Belmonte cleans it up. But you can tell he's not happy the way that last frame played out. Again, you guys talked about it, consistency.
This would be a great way to go into the Hall of Fame, beating the #1 player in the world right now. It makes you feel real good when you go and get inducted.
Remember, if he wins this, he will move on to the big final and face the top amateur, and that's where the payout of $100,000 will be on the line.
He got that one down early.
But when you're that good.
And there's another side of this that I don't think many people see, is that Tommy Jones is going to take this. If he does win this game, whoever wins, they'll take that win on to the next time they see each other, and that's in the back of their head saying, hey, I know I can beat this guy.
There is no question about that. You know, you have to get a couple of medals on your chest before.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to rattle these people somehow.
That's the answer that you wanted to see.
Norm, how hard is it to let go of a bad shot? And just from his body language, it looks like Belmont's still thinking about that last frame.
Yeah, you know, it's not that hard to let go of it as long as you're in the lead. It's real hard to let go of it if you're losing. And he knows who he's up against. Tommy Jones does not like to give it back.
Belmo leaves a single soldier standing.
Yeah, this is just protection from the last shot went wide, and he said, I have to get it. I have to catch the fingers. He caught the fingers so much that it overhooked to the right.
And again, it's that left lane that he's trying to figure out.
Yeah, good shot. And Jerome,
Belmo picks that up as Tommy Jones seems to be in control when we return to Jupiter, Florida, the Bowlero Elite Series. Layla will be with Belmo. Has he dug himself a hole he can't get out of? We'll find out when we return.
To be successful in this sport, you need patience,
driven, and composed.
We have to be persistent and have a love for the sport. You need to work hard and never give up.
You must make your spares.
You have to have a great support system like my family does for me.
You need to be confident.
Focused.
Dedicated to the sport of bowling.
I got to this point by practicing and being in the gym every single day, working to be the best athlete that I could be.
To be successful in this sport, you need to be
Bold.
Bold. Bold.
Bold.
Bold.
bold.
Bold.
Bold.
You need to be bold.
This tournament is brought to you by your nearby Bowlero, Bullmore, and AMF bowling centers, who remind you that any time is the perfect time to be bold. Bowling, arcade, outrageous eats, and unforgettable events. Go online now and reserve your lane. Back in Jupiter, Florida, we sit it down to Layla.
Todd, thank you. Jason, a competitive match so far. You know what you're getting in Tommy Jones. What do you think of just what you've done?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to strike out, most likely. I mean, Tommy looks really, really good right now. You know, I didn't throw a great shot there on the left lane for the 8 count, but, you know, we're halfway through the game. There's plenty of frames left. Got to hope he gives me an opening, and if he does, I've got to try to take advantage of it.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck. Todd?
So Belmo telling us exactly what he needs to do, guys. You agree, obviously, it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be easy. You know, you're staring down the barrel of a gunslinger, and so you've got to hope that he makes the mistake that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, you got to fire back. You got to shoot back at him.
Tommy Jones now up on the right lane, and this has been good to him, and he leaves one standing, so maybe the opening that Jason Belmonte needed.
Yeah, right out of a commercial break. Seems the toughest thing to do for the pros on television is out of the commercial breaks. They have to manage themselves. Yeah. Sometimes they come down. Sometimes, yeah. And you can see he's gonna alter the fit of his thumb.
Making an adjustment.
Just that, you know, 2-minute break there.
Yeah.
He's got to make an adjustment from something that has been absolutely perfect up until this point.
Exactly.
So this is a big shot, right, Norm? I mean, rattled there. You got to finish this thing. No problem.
No problem now.
All right.
But now the question mark has started to sink in, right? And so now you're saying to yourself, okay, I've got to get back into it. I've got to find a way to get going. And what people don't understand is this game is so psychological at this point. Now this is the challenge. Can he put it on the lanes and get it in the pocket?
Yeah, I think he's going to do fine here on the left lane. He'll probably get a strike. The big thing is when he gets back up on the right lane, can he double? One strike's one thing. A double is so huge.
Such a competitive match, and we are talking about one pin. He has missed one pin this whole match, and we're breaking it down, saying, oh, man, he's in trouble. It's like, it's one pin.
Yeah, that was his 8 shot there. Now, remember, Belmonte had the same commercial break.
Yep.
Same amount of time.
Yep.
Difference is he doesn't have a thumb hole.
Okay.
Doesn't have to adjust that thumb hole, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Inside information from Norm Duke, people.
Oh, he absolutely loved that one.
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh,
just came right across the front.
Yeah, and those are the shots that really hurt when you put it exactly where you wanted to put it, and it didn't work out. You didn't get the strike that you were looking for.
Yeah, good shot.
There you go.
You could see the frustration on his face. He had an opportunity.
And you saw that pin action, Jerome. I mean, it was like,
Yeah, you know, the max scores on both, it's 32 pins difference in the max scores, but it's only a 22-pin match now. Tommy Jones has a hammer, Jason Belmonte doesn't, but it's only 22 right now. Oh, bad one.
oh. Norm, you saw that coming right out.
I've never seen a shot executed like that from Jason Belmonte in my life, by the way. It's normally hard to tell whether he throws a good one or a bad one, but this one I could tell immediately.
And you can see he's...
Yeah, he's not liking the left lane, is he?
Not like it, I'm telling you. Unable to figure out the left lane.
Yeah.
He's a little, you know.
Well, if he's going to miss, that's the time to miss because he
Right.
only lost one pin to, you know, his deficit. He's 23 back. This is where Tommy Jones can either seal the deal or let him right back in the match.
Exactly.
And as a bowler, it scares the heck out of us.
Nice way to give yourself a little breathing room, so to speak.
That's a sigh of relief, isn't it?
It was. He took care of business. He did what he had to do.
Yeah, that all but wraps it up. And you have to go open on a house shot. Not very likely.
Not likely, yes.
I'm not going to give him the victory just yet. But I can tell you this. Belmonte's not very comfortable sitting down right now.
Jason Belmonte could do is sit and watch.
Yeah, we knew at the beginning of this match that the first mistake was probably going to be the person that lost the match.
Well said.
That's what we said, and it turned out to be the case.
That did turn out to be the case.
Absolutely.
We didn't know that Jason was going to miss more than once, but he missed first.
Just such a costly miss, and that door was open. To give all credit to Tommy Jones because he stepped right up and took full advantage of it. Didn't give him an opportunity.
Yeah, but he gave it the who's got next at the end. Hey, look, I'm the Dallas Strikers manager, and that's where that came up. And I just love him when he gets fired up. Tommy Jones being my anchor man with the Dallas Strikers. Who's got next? That means have a safe travels back to Australia, my buddy.
And he hasn't changed an expression since he started. And again, the left lane comes back to bite Belmonte.
This was a problem all night. He wasn't able to figure out that left lane.
Norm, is it a case of once it gets in your head, it's hard to just shake it off?
You would think so, but I think what it is the bowling ball that he's selected. You know, he hasn't had, you know, a full day even to decide what is best. I think maybe a different bowling ball will get in the pins a little better. Maybe he's trying to help it get into those pins, and as soon as you try to help it, you know, Jerome's going to hook early.
That's right.
Whatever it was, he did not put up the score he knew he needed on a house condition against Tommy Jones.
That'll strike.
Yeah, there it is. It sure will.
Thank you.
It's hard to put into words, though,
That's everything, mate.
how good that man has been the last 10 years. I've watched it firsthand from the front row, and I've never seen anything like it. He's just amazing, and all of us know it. We want to do something about it so bad.
That's
I
right.
can't tell you, but...
So it'll be Tommy Jones moving on to the final and the opportunity to walk away from Jupiter, Florida with $100,000. Guys, we said it before. We talk about the accolades of just how good Jason Belmonte is. But when he gave that opening, a lesser bowler might not have taken advantage of it and let Jason stick around. And he did not.
And we just talked about Tommy Jones going into the Pro Bowling Hall of Fame. So this is the caliber
And you
that
say
Jason
lesser
Belmonte,
bowler?
exactly, Belmonte is
funny.
dealing with. This guy is a Hall of Fame bowler. He's going to take advantage of the opportunity.
So, Jerome, what you're saying is
And who's got next?
Who's got next?
Who's got next?
Is this like winning the Super Bowl before you get inducted to
Absolutely,
camp?
it is. You know, and it's certain. It's certain bowlers that
Look at this
you
action.
bowl
I know
It's a little
against.
slower than you young punks.
It's
Don't worry,
certain,
I still get just
you know,
as
it's like in football. It's certain teams that you
I was
play
gonna pick
against
out my hair, but I didn't have
that you say, you know what, we want to beat them, right? And it doesn't matter. And this is one of those situations. You got Jason Belmonte, the best bowler on the planet right now. This is the opportunity he wanted.
Well, no question, and Tommy will give it to you. I mean, he said, I don't pick my hair out with this one or nothing.
That's right.
Hey, look, he's talking to that front row right there because the average age of that front row is probably 21, 22. Yeah.
And like I said earlier, it's all about the next match.
The next match. What did you do last?
That's right. And letting those guys, putting those guys on notice.
On notice.
Like, when you come see me, you better have your best.
As we take a look at the brackets on the pros side, it is now Tommy Jones who has punched his ticket into the final and the opportunity to win $100,000. He will face off against the winner of our next matchup. It'll either be Garrett Chauvin or Luis Gonzalez. Right now, Layla Rahimi is standing by with a very jubilant Tommy Jones.
Fresh off of that outstanding semifinal match, you told me you'd watch this on TV before. Now you're going up to face one of the big amateurs. Could be Garrett Chauvin, could be Luis Gonzalez. You know what's on the line. What do you think of the atmosphere and all of this so far?
Yeah, so far the fans are great. They're keeping us up, keeping the energy up. It's awesome atmosphere. Bowlero's been great with all they've done, and I look forward to bowling one of the amateurs for $100,000.
In your outstanding career, only one time have you had a $100,000 check. What would that opportunity mean to you?
Well, here we're not bowling for the prestige, we're bowling for the money. So there's no secrets about it. So it's all about the money, and it'll make Christmas a lot better.
Well, the show is great too. Good luck to you in the final.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Layla, and congratulations to Tommy Jones once again as he takes down Jason Belmonte, and he has moved himself into the final where he will face off against the #1 amateur, which is coming up next. Still to come, though, the big battle in the Sunshine State. We're not talking about the Miami Hurricanes. We're talking about the Bus and the Duke going toe-to-toe. But when we return, we go inside the arcade.
Oh, the two-handed, yeah.
Arcade action with Kyle Troop. New Year's Day, the NHL heads outdoors for Wild West Showdown as the Nashville Predators head to Dallas to face off with the Stars from the Cotton Bowl. The 2020 NHL Bridgestone Winter Classic, New Year's Day, only on NBC. Beautiful day in the Sunshine State, but if you're going to be indoors, why not go ahead and take advantage of all the arcade games that are possible? And who better to guide you through it than Kyle Troop? So after you bowl, it's time to play all the games in Bowlero's Deluxe Arcade. You can discover the newest and coolest games, challenge your friends, and have the best time ever. Find the location near you and learn more at Bowlero.com. His hair not included. All right, Tommy Jones is already into the final. Our next match, we'll find out who he'll be facing. These are the amateurs. We've got Luis Gonzalez taking on Garrett Chauvin. Let's first talk about Luis Gonzalez. He has been there before.
He has, and he won $270,000 earlier on in the year. And I'll tell you what, if that doesn't loosen that swing up, I'll put in with you. This has got to be the most confident player in the building, counting the pros.
And what do you tell Garrett Chauvin coming into this one?
You know what? He's a clear underdog. He has to know it. He knows that, you know, Luis has been in this environment. He's won against the pros, so he's playing on house money, so to speak. So Garrett has to come out here, have some early success, put pressure back on Luis.
All right, let's take a moment and meet Garrett Chauvin.
My father and grandfather were both in the Air Force. My grandfather is the one who started all this for us. He got my dad into bowling when he was 3. Now my dad passing it down to me, it's been awesome. It's a family thing for sure. My proudest bowling moment was bowling 300 in front of my dad in high school league. Being able to do that for my dad was awesome. It's been just an amazing relationship for us to have that, and we text all the time, all these little things. Whenever I found out about the Bowlero Elite Series, you know, I sent him all the stuff I could. He was ecstatic. If I were to win this event, it's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions for sure. We'll probably cry a little bit, but that's because of our love for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Bowlero Elite Series League bowlers. Up first, a former collegiate standout from Saginaw Valley State. He owns a .228 scoring average. From Denver, Colorado, Garrett Chauvin.
Garrett Chauvin has made his way to the amateur semifinal, and he will face off against Luis Gonzalez, a man we know well in the Bowlero Elite Series since he won the very first event.
The experience in that first event was surreal. Like, actually facing off against a pro, like, it's just something you kind of dream about. At the end of the day, it's just you and the pins. Like, you control how you get in.
Unbelievable.
The attention I received after winning the first event, it's overwhelming. A few people come up to me like, hey, like, you're the guy that won the tournament, or you were on TV. And I'm like, yeah. We couldn't reveal any results until the show aired. When I did go back to work, walking in, like, everybody's looking at me like, so how did it go? And I'm like, I can't really tell. But after everything was done, like, it was just an awesome feeling, like, just like doing it for them, just because they expected so much out of me. This time around, it was a little more just anxious to be able to come out here again and compete. Once the lights turned on, like, it kind of hit me a little bit more like, okay, like, opportunities here again, like, make it worth it.
Up next, the pharmacy technician who took home the inaugural Bowlero Elite Series Championship in his hometown of Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luis Gonzalez.
Coming up next, it'll be the amateur final. Luis Gonzalez and Garrett Chauvin for the right to face off against Tommy Jones and $100,000. And a great week of competition here in Jupiter, Florida, and congratulations to all the amateurs that were here participating. Although we are down to the final 2, 6 others were here, and I'll tell you what, they had an opportunity to take advantage of Bowlero's 6-pound behemoth burger and the 2-foot mega dog. Jerome Bettis calls that an appetizer. Try them today with friends or order them for your next party. See the full menu at Bowlero.com. And the rest of the amateurs are sticking around to see how this whole plays out. Right now, we sit it down to Layla Rahimi.
And we are with the 2 amateurs who are left, and I'm going to start with the contender, Garrett Chauvin. You talked about balancing your nerves in the rounds before this. So what goes through your mind as you get ready to take on a guy who proved himself on the biggest stage Bowlero had?
Yeah, he's undefeated through 2 events so far, so I'm going to have to work for it, and there basically can't be any nerves. I'm just got to do it.
Smile on your face, so you've got the good approach so far. As for Luis Gonzalez, what a whirlwind it has been for you since you took this in Chicago. How do you defend your title knowing that you've got some of the best facing you?
Just keep to my plan, make good shots, and hopefully if I make 10 good ones, come out with the win.
He says you have ice in his veins, Garrett. We see it here right now, Todd.
Thank you, Layla. And remember, $100,000 to the winner, $25,000 to our runner-up. All right, so Norm Duke, Jerome Bettis, you guys have seen the pros, what they could do. Tommy Jones sits and wait. One thing you guys noticed, these guys were warming up for a long time. Norm, did they warm up too much?
Well, that's what Jerome was asking me is, Norm, how much is too much? I said, that much? That's
too much. Absolutely,
I thought so.
But you know what? These guys have a lot of energy.
Yep.
Louis, come on, Louis!
Luis Gonzalez.
Oh, man.
Talk about picking up where he left off in Chicago.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what that does, you know, to his opponent now who's already thinking, okay, I've got to do some damage. I've got to beat this guy. When you go out there and roll that initial strike now, it puts a lot of pressure on you to have to go out there and get it done.
So this is Garrett Chauvin from Denver, Colorado, former collegiate bowler at Saginaw Valley State. Split his time growing up between Dallas and Omaha, Nebraska. And a big opportunity for him right here. And Norm, it's awfully cliche to take it one frame at a time, but really you have to just think about the 10 in front of you and nothing else.
It's so cliche to say it, but that's exactly what we do. And, you know, for Garrett right now, the best thing that he could do is take a lead right after watching a guy that's seemingly unbeatable throw a perfect shot at you. If you can have a lead after 2 frames, maybe even be even.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Like you said,
You got to start early.
Got to start
fast and put pressure back on Luis Gonzalez.
Push, 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 push.
Oh, and he got some good pin action there to help him out.
He did.
Talk that one through.
He came in there a little tight there, and he still got the action that he wanted.
He did, and you know what? I think he got away with both shots. The first one, he was a little light, didn't look like he caught it all, but he recovered late. That one, he said push. Push means hold. Don't go through the nose. It did.
Come on, Louis, come on, Louis!
Garrett did exactly what he had to do, is put the pressure back on Luis Gonzalez, and Luis answers right away. His wife Elisa has made the trip down to Jupiter, and why not? Get out of Chicago during the winter and come to Florida.
And Logan, the son who's peeking out of those shoulders.
I understand he's a bowler as well.
Come on, Louis, get it out there, baby!
Oh, that's wide.
Oh boy.
I'll tell you what. He looks like he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
This reaction. She knew it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a confident bunch, I tell you that. They are. And they ought to be confident.
So now the pressure goes back to Garrett Chauvin. I tell you, Norm, he may not be hitting the pocket exactly every time, but somehow he's getting the pin action. It's cleaning up.
Yeah, that was his best shot of the 3.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
And, you know, I think what Jerome said about our pros match is right now it might be the first one who
mistake.
misses. Psh,
Could be out of it. But Garrett is doing exactly what he has to do. Put pressure on early. Keep it up.
Yeah, he's breathing.
And it seems as though those first 2 strikes were a little bit out of the pocket, and I think he's found his stroke. The last 2 shots have been in the pocket, really nice throws.
Yeah, he got away with the first 2, so he kind of calmed him down, and now he can say, all right, now make your shot.
Right.
Yeah.
So, guys, we talked about that left lane being an issue when we watched the pros go, Tommy Jones versus Jason Belmonte. Are you seeing any issues for the left lane so far for the amateurs?
None. They're both left-handed, and both of the other players were right-handed, so it has no bearing.
Harry. Harry.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, we can see a 300 here.
Very much. Very
Keep it going, Lou. Come on.
2 300s.
It's only the fourth frame, but I'll tell you what, they both are lined up. They both throw it really good.
That's right.
And I'll tell you what, neither looks rattled.
And it's really impressive. Luis he's been, I mean, if maybe a board or so off, maybe, but this pin action is so much that he's clearing it out.
Make a good shot.
That was a great one. That was a great one.
Luis Gonzalez has been bowling since the age of 3, and he honors his father who passed away by continuing that now, as you pointed out, his son Logan, the 4-year-old, third-generation bowler.
That's so awesome.
If you're going to win the kind of money Daddy's winning, you might as well.
That's right.
It's the greatest thing about bowling is it doesn't matter how old you are or your gender.
It doesn't.
Let's go bowling. That did not.
As soon as he let go of it, he said it's got to push.
Yeah, you can even hear the ball hit the lane. It was a lot louder when it impacted the lane that time, which means he just got it into a little too steep into the floor.
Yep.
When you do that, it tends to hook early, if there is hook early. He'll forgive himself. He'll make the spare and move on.
And here's the thing. If he loses to Luis Gonzalez and Gonzalez throws a 300,
Right.
what are you going to do? It's kind of like...
You've got to tip your hat to him
exactly.
and just tell him, hey, great game. That's all you can do. You got to kind of regain yourself in this time.
Yeah, I can hear his heartbeat right now. He's trying to
calm himself down, calm himself back down.
He's trying to gather himself, exactly. With each strike, you tend to just amp up the level of
that tension.
The tension, yes.
Push. And again, makes the same comment and leaves one standing.
Yeah, and it just seems as though he can't find his stroke. Earlier he threw a couple that was off. He found it a little bit, but now he's kind of searching right now, and this is the wrong person to be searching against. Luis Gonzalez looks like
Luis.
He
hasn't missed since July, so.
And he cleans it up. So there you see the max scores right now. Gonzalez still on track for a 300, 268 for Garrett Chauvin. When we return, Luis Gonzalez back up and bowling when we return to Jupiter, Florida. This is the Bowlero Elite Series.
So if I'm able to win the Bowlero Elite Series, it would mean the world to me. It's an amazing opportunity for us league bowlers, guys that are watching the pros on TV. It's amazing.
My main goal for this event is to still honor my dad. I know he's watching down on me. I'm still trying to make him proud. But also for my son, just make sure I keep it, try to make everybody proud and do what I can.
If I'm able to win $100,000, I mean, that is, it's life-changing amount of money for sure. So yeah, I can do some things that I wanted to do that I couldn't, like trying out the tour and bowling some bigger events and seeing, my ability out against the best in the world.
As far as money-wise, I don't really look at that too much. It's more of just prove it to myself that I can be out here competing against the best amateurs and the best pros.
We had 8 great amateur bowlers that made their way to Jupiter, Florida, but one of them really stood out to us, and that's Mike Ewing, and he has a tremendous story about being the best he can be as a father.
I have a beautiful 9-year-old daughter. She is blind and autistic, so being a single dad of a special needs little one is always having to overcome something every day. There's a lot of things that we went through with Kylie as far as different sports. Gymnastics was one of them, taekwondo. Everything motor function wise, there was so much going on that she couldn't really focus. This past summer actually is when I got back into bowling, and she was right there with me side by side. She just loves to throw things in general. So the fact that I could put an 8-pound ball in her hand and just put up the bumpers and say, hey, rip it up, kiddo. She bowled 2 strikes in a row last week, so I was over the moon about that. Now her motor functions are unbelievably great. Core strength has gotten better. It's pretty cool to see her progression and really focus both physically and mentally on it. Seeing the achievements that she did pushes me to do everything that I possibly can that much better. My message to parents with children with disabilities is to keep pushing them as much as possible. Don't give up on them. Don't put the disability out there as far as taking it for what it is. Constantly push them, because they will surprise you every day, and those achievements are going to be so awesome.
And there is Mike Ewing here in attendance for the Bowlero Elite Series, watching his fellow amateurs go head-to-head in this one. Luis Gonzalez taking on Garrett Chauvin for an opportunity to face off with Tommy Jones in the final and that $100,000 payout. So there's a situation right now. Luis Gonzalez in control of this one. And Norm Duke, this is a great opportunity for him to really apply the pressure to Chauvin.
No doubt, but fresh off a commercial.
Get out, baby!
Oh!
All right, come on. Hey.
That's the 3rd time I've done that today, Jerome.
Absolutely. And it's something about coming out of a commercial break. Wow. That,
you know, folks ask me all the time, what is it? What is it about that? Well, we don't know.
Well, it takes you out of your rhythm.
Exactly.
You know, you're not in that rhythm. You're thinking of other things, and you kind of lose focus. And as you know, in this sport, if you lose focus for just that little bit, it's going to produce a bad roll.
Right, you can come back to it mentally, but can you remember all the things that you were doing to create the reaction you need?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Then yeah, it's a hard shot to throw. He didn't get a good break there either with the 7-10. I mean, that could have struck easily.
All right, Louis, come on. Come on, Louis. Hit it.
Oh, wow.
All right, come on, Lou.
Lisa Gonzalez, Lewis's wife. And there was the opportunity that he had, Norm and Jerome, and unable to capitalize on it. So still life for Garrett Chauvin. He's got to feel pretty good about the way things have played out here in the last 5 minutes for his opportunity.
You know, this was the opportunity that he was looking
Yeah.
for. He needed Luis Gonzalez to
Open
really
frame or
give
spare,
him that
yeah.
opportunity. Now it's up to him to take advantage of it.
Yeah, he took the lead on the bench.
All right, Lou, come on. Hey, Lou, come on. Hey, Lou.
The first chink in the armor that I've seen out of Luis Gonzalez. He had a masterful performance his last time on the series, and to see this happening, quite shocking.
Calmly steps up and hits. That's impressive.
That was impressive. That's how you turn the match around.
Yeah, he takes a 13-pin lead. With the strike here, it goes to 23.
Wow.
Like you said, 5 minutes ago, we were trying to figure out how he was going to stay in the match with Luis.
Get up, get up, get up. Oh, he is the pin whisperer here in Jupiter, Florida. He says it and it does it.
I need to talk to my ball more often if it gets in that deal. That's right.
That's the 3rd time he said either get up or push, and they respond. All right, so Jerome Bettis, if you're coaching up Luis Gonzalez right now, he's sitting there on the bench. What do you tell him when he comes back in?
I'm telling you, you got to stay focused. It's an opportunity here, but you have to do your job.
Come on, Louis.
There it is. You got to do your job because you got to remember, Gary Chauvin, he just had a strike, but it was not a solid throw. So you know that, hey, he's still trying to find himself. So you got to go out there and do your job, put pressure back.
Norm, you heard that, right? A Pittsburgh Steeler quoting Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Do your job.
You can steal some things every now and then. I'm not going to say they do.
Looking to get the mojo back and just leaves one.
If you ever needed one, she needed that one.
Yeah, that was a big shot. I thought he threw it pretty good.
Yeah,
Gave it some room.
Look at the action.
Got in there a little tight, though.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Hey, make the spare. That's why you're in this trouble right now. Not only did you leave a 7-10, but you missed a single pin spare. Get it.
Can't afford another open frame.
Cannot afford that. Hey, now you need help.
All right. Well, Garrett Chauvin, just step up and do what?
Do your job. Close it out. Close it out.
Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, though, isn't it?
Well, look, if he gets 2 right now, it is over. It won't make it to the 10 frame. Anything less than that, and we have some action. Right now, Garrett Chauvin, he's on a 238 clip. Luis Gonzalez sitting at 225.
2 biggest shots of his career?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So Luis Gonzalez is now breathing just a little bit better.
Just a little bit easier.
There's life.
Well, 225 is the most that Luis can get. A spare here and a mark in the 10 frame, and he's in the 230, so we're all right. He still has 2 pins count, so, you know, a 9 miss, we might have possibility of a tie. Jerome said it. Do your job.
There you go.
Keep
it simple, and Chauvin does just that.
He puts himself in position to close it out.
Right.
Big shot in his mind. He wants 9 or better. He cannot lose with 9 or better.
Go.
Wow. That's 3 9-pins in a row.
Unbelievable.
These boys like the drama, don't they?
Right.
I don't think either of those last 3 balls deserves
look
a
at
9
that.
pin.
But you know, there's a psychological game as well, because you got to remember, Gary Chauvin, he's looking at the opportunity to play against Tommy Jones, and you want to send a message to your competitor, hey,
right?
This is what's coming, and so you don't do that. Now you leave that thought in mind and says, okay, well, he's not going to be as tough as he could be.
Right. His armor isn't quite as steely, right?
Exactly. So every opportunity you get, you have to send a message to those competitors that are watching you play. Especially, this is not the finals, so he has another match. You want to send that message to your competitor. Hey, be ready for me.
And there's Tommy Jones down at the other end of the lanes, solitary.
That's right.
Throwing a few.
There you go.
That's it.
Garrett Chauvin against Tommy Jones in the finale.
What do you think about that as we take a look at it one more time? Great action there as Chauvin comes back. Guys, halfway through this match, we were talking about Luis Gonzalez maybe going to 300. And Chauvin, hey, you did well. You made it this far. And look how he's turned the table. What a game.
I would classify it as an upset. I really would, because you go in there and Luis Gonzalez, the way he was playing, the form he had, this is definitely an upset.
Yeah.
you know, two 7-10s in a match. It's hard to win a one-game match with a 7-10 in it.
Right.
Two 7-10s in it pretty much takes you out. If you miss a spare in there, you're gone.
You got no chance.
Yeah, but I tell you what, off his hand, he threw 11 really good shots.
He did.
He had a tickler 7-10, a pocket 7-10, a blower 7-pin, and a stone 9. There you go.
So the final is set. It will be Garrett Chauvin taking on the pro Tommy Jones for $100,000. One thing for certain, both men are leading with some money because the runner-up gets 25 grand as we take a look at the brackets here for the amateurs. Garrett Chauvin, Tommy Jones, they're going to meet in the final for 100 grand. What a showdown it'll be, and we'll see if Garrett Chauvin can get that hot streak going yet again. He will face that man, Tommy Jones, the 41-year-old from Simpsonville, South Carolina, getting set to be inducted into PBA Hall of Fame. It'll be a classic showdown here in Jupiter, Florida. Speaking of classic showdowns, have we got one for you? When we return to the Bowlero Elite Series, it's the bus. He's got all the hardware, but does he have the skills to take down the Duke? We'll find out when we return here on NBC Sports.
It said Behemoth Burger. I didn't know it was that big.
Oh, yeah! So we have the Mega Coney Dog, and we have a pizza cake.
They don't call me the bus because I was scared to eat. Oh!
Jerome Bettis knows a thing or two about football, food, and bowling, but he's going to go head-to-head with PBA Hall of Famer Norm Duke. So I hope he carbo-loaded for this one because this is going to be a tough matchup as we send it over to PA announcer Mark Fratto.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here in Bowlero, Jupiter, Florida, it's time for a special holiday exhibition, a 5-frame bowl-off between two Hall of Famers. Let's meet first the former first-round draft pick out of Notre Dame from the Professional Football Hall of Fame, the NFL's 7th all-time rushing leader, and the bowler of one perfect game, Jerome the Bus Bettis! And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent needs no introduction here at Bowlero. He's a PBA Hall of Famer, the owner of 5 ESPYs, 40 career PBA tour titles, 7 career majors, one of the top 5 PBA bowlers of all time, the great Norm Duke.
Yeah! Let's go, let's line it up.
So it's the Duke versus the bus. And Jerome Bettis will have the first honors.
He was looking good in warm-ups.
Oh, that's how you start it off. That's how you start it off.
He said he came to play today, guys.
Throwing up that Iron Curtain offense right there is what that is.
Hall of Fame start right there.
No pressure on Norm now.
So very, very sweaty.
Norm Duke. He answers right back.
That's a pretty good answer right there.
Oh my God.
Might be a little nervous. You know, Jerome, a little intimidating on the lanes.
They're being awfully nice to each other in this first frame. I was expecting more trash talk, especially from Norm Duke. Come on.
I mean, I would be nice to him too. I can't really blame him.
Oh, someone's feeling the Christmas spirit.
Little swagger step from Jerome right there.
Little action. Yeah. Get a little action.
Jerome Bettis goes about 6'3", 245. That's how much one of his leg wears. Norm Duke weighs about
5'3", 127.
one of Jerome's arms. Does Norm Duke travel with his entourage?
Hold on.
It's probably a pretty big entourage, I would have to say.
Hold on, that's 129 now because I just grew on that ball.
So let's break down the attack. We're talking about a power game with a bus, aren't we?
Oh, this is raw power right here from the bus.
Oh, help him. Help him.
Almost too much power.
Whew, a little too tight.
How's he only leave the 6-pin with that? He's the bus. The bus ran over the other 3 he's supposed to leave. Oh, yeah.
Bus comes out sniping, gets it. So a pickup for the bus.
It's a big spot for Norm here. Let's see if he can handle the pressure, take the lead.
Oh, yeah! Yes!
That's the Norm Duke fist pump right there.
Don't leave me hanging, Michael.
That's a pro move right there. So he applies the pressure to the bus. Now he's got to answer back.
Foundation.
Let's see what you got, Jerome.
Oh, come on. How'd I put it out there?
You think Norm's getting in Jerome's head?
He might be. I mean, Norm's a little guy, but he can be intimidating. Yeah.
Notice how a bowling ball in Jerome's hand looks like a tennis ball in everyone else's hand?
Yeah, he could probably add some weight to the ball.
Oh, you know he was sandbagging us, telling us he hadn't bowled in months.
Yeah, 2 months off, enjoying his off season a little bit. Prime
Hasn't
form.
bowled in months.
We are in the 10th frame.
I want him to feel you over there.
I think it's time to crack out some Irish magic. What do you think? Irish magic. Come on, bus. Come on, baby. I forgot to bring my Norm Duke jersey.
You didn't know I had all that in me, did you?
Oh, my goodness. You saved that. You should have been doing that this week.
You remember the last time we bowled? When you bowled 299 at me and beat me? You think
that's-
I don't remember that stuff?
It's punishment. Well, I'm making sure you don't roll the 300. I am making sure of that.
Good shot. Here we go. All
right. I smell a comeback.
That was all you right there.
I needed that. I needed that.
Twitter.
Last frames right here, Jerome, no pressure. Oh, yes!
A big finish for the bus.
Man. Not enough.
And Norm Duke stepping up to the plate and takes down the bus.
Great win, great win.
That was a great time. Thank you up there.
Let's hear it for our 2 Hall of Famers. New Year's Eve is just days away, but there's still time to plan an amazing party at Bowlero. Celebrate on your own reserved lane with party packages featuring unlimited bowling and Bowlero's signature menu. Book now at bowlero.com/NYE. This is the 3rd stop of the Bowlero Elite Series, but it's stop number 2 in North Brunswick. Amy Brem put on a show. Amy Brem now looking for something big and gets it.
Trust yourself and trust your shot.
Look at that.
Tough break for Amy.
And here she is, the coolest school teacher in New Jersey. Amy Brem has made the trip to Florida. Happy holidays to you. Take us back to that second Bowlero Elite Series stop. How much pressure were you feeling?
Not a lot of pressure. You know, it was an experience of a lifetime, and I just let it all out there.
Did you surprise yourself on how well you bowled at that tournament?
I absolutely did, but I think the biggest thing that I could take away from it was the amount of confidence that I had.
And the biggest question, what was the reaction from your class after it was on TV?
The kids absolutely loved it. They came up to me the next morning and they're like, Miss Brand, we watched you on TV, and they were showing me videos, and it was just a great feeling.
Also joined by professional Kyle Troop. Kyle, you've been a part of the Bowlero Elite Series. What's your take on this format? What do you think?
It's been such a great experience throughout the whole year. Big shout out to Bowlero. You know, they've done a great job sponsoring the event. It's great. You know, it's bringing the amateurs and pros together, getting to see the talent from the amateurs that you might not get to see on TV. And it's great, and there's lots of money too. We love money.
All right, the time has come. We are set to go. When we come back, the final from Jupiter, Florida. Will it be Garrett Chauvin or will it be Tommy Jones leaving the Sunshine State with $100,000? Wintertime in South Florida as we welcome you back to Jupiter, Florida for the Bowlero Elite Series, the third and final stop of 2019, and not a snowflake in sight. We're getting set for our championship matchup, but first we want to remind you that next Saturday the nation's best high school football players go head-to-head in the 20th edition of the All-American Bowl. It's a game that launched the NFL All-Pros such as Adrian Peterson, Andrew Luck, Ezekiel Elliott, Odell Beckham Jr., and collegiate stars like Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, and Chase Young. It all starts at 1 p.m. on NBC Sports as we check in now with Layla Rahimi.
Todd, thank you. Now I am with Garrett Chauvin. And Garrett, you did what you needed to do. You took down the defending amateur champ in Luis Gonzalez. You're going to face a guy who's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame in January. So how do you approach mentally? What's going on?
I grew up watching Tommy bowl, so this is just awesome no matter what happens here. So like you said, I'm going to go out there and try and throw good shots. I'm not going to let the nerves get to me because this is amazing. So, you know, we made it, right? So do what we can do to get that $100,000.
You had said that your proudest moment prior to maybe this was bowling a 300 in front of your father. So how do you rank this opportunity?
It's above that a little bit, but, you know, there's some sentimental value with the pops there. But, yeah, this is just amazing, and I'm not going to take it for granted. Just going to enjoy this.
Garrett, good luck to you with $100,000 on the line. Once again, we'll hear from Mark Fratto.
And now, from Jupiter, Florida, USA, it's the Bowlero Elite Series Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, it's go time! Introducing first our Bowlero League bowler, the former collegiate standout from Saginaw Valley State. He reaches the championship with a 236 from Denver, Colorado, Garrett Chauvin.
Let's go!
So Garrett Chauvin is out and ready to go. Right now, let's send it backstage to Layla Rahimi.
Todd, thank you. Standing by with the future Hall of Famers. So as you get ready for that, this is your final match before you get inducted. A nice feather in your cap to get that $100,000 prize. I know it's on your mind, so how do you approach what's next?
Well, you know, all you can do is go out there and make good shots. You know, he just bowled a very good game to advance to bowl against me, so I bowled a good game in the semifinal also, so we're going to go out there and see what happens and hopefully make a happy new year with $100,000.
Yeah, you've watched these on TV. You're familiar with Luis Gonzalez. Now Garrett does what he does in order to advance. What did you think of just the wherewithal and the momentum he had to get to face you?
Yeah, you know, they're not quite as scared of the amateurs as some of us were when we were bowling as amateurs. We didn't have many opportunities to bowl for $100,000. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the nerves get to him, but he bowled a really good game, so I'm not sure that's going to be the case.
It's going to be fun to watch. Tommy, thank you. Good luck.
And now, the 19-time PBA Tour champion and soon-to-be PBA Hall of Famer. He reached the championship with a 279 from Simpsonville, South Carolina, Tommy Jones.
So the final is set. It'll be Garrett Chauvin out of Denver, Colorado, taking on Simpsonville, South Carolina's Tommy Jones for $100,000 here on NBC Sports. Looking back on the first two events of the Bowlero Elite Series here in 2019, we go back to Chicago, the first stop, and what a showing it was for one Luis Gonzalez, as Gonzalez came out as the amateur and took down touring pro Kyle Troop. And then in September, North Brunswick, New Jersey, Anthony Simonson gets the win over the runner-up, the amateur, Amy Brem. So, an amateur is 1-1, a pro is 1-1. So we are down to the rubber match here as we have reached the final here in Jupiter, Florida. And let's not forget, there's $100,000 on the line to the winner of this match, $25,000 to the runner-up. So either way, someone's going to start off 2020 in a nice way, financially speaking.
They're ready to go.
Tommy comes out firing just like the way he finished when he took down Jason Belmonte in the semifinals.
And again, Garrett Chauvin, he's a huge underdog.
Right.
What he has to do right now is get on the board early. Put pressure back on the Hall of Famer. You got to do it.
Yeah, you can't allow Tommy Jones to step up in the second, third frame and take a 25-pin lead. No way. No way.
Can't do it.
There it is. And let's not forget the six-figure payout if he finds a way to take down Tommy Jones.
That was a great moment to regroup, get yourself back together.
It was a smart move, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Not everyone would do it.
Yeah.
Some of us would have just thrown the shot and try to make a better shot in frame two. He stopped, regathered, and I tell you what, he threw it perfect.
He did. He did.
I can feel his heartbeat.
Looks good. Oh, thank you. So the Garrett I love you call right when he released did not help him here.
And he said thank you after, so he heard it.
Yeah, he heard it.
It was clear he heard it.
He'll take it.
Acknowledging the fan.
Well, the good news is he didn't leave the 6-8, just the 8-pin. So if it makes the spare, then, you know, Tommy has a chance to go up by 20, but that's not, you know, a given.
There you go. Cleans it up nicely. And apparently she still doesn't love him. So Tommy Jones now steps up. As Layla reported, he'll be inducted in the Pro Bowlers Hall of Fame in a few weeks. 19 PBA titles, 2 majors.
Yeah, first ballot and deserving.
2001 PBA Rookie of the Year. That was a little while ago. Now at 41, he's a seasoned vet. He's no Norm Duke yet, but he's a seasoned vet.
And he's not the player you want to leave the door open with. You know, he's the kind of guy. Yeah, you got to put pressure because he's going to kick down the door, regardless.
Yeah, this was not his best shot. In fact, he needed this ball to lay off.
Thanks,
Otherwise,
Rob.
it could have been right in the middle for the big 4. But nope, played there. He's got a double.
Come on, better than that one.
Yeah, he needs to take advantage of that big break that he got.
He liked that. As soon as it left his hand, he liked that.
Well, when you give a pro a break like he got in the second frame, it will relax. And tell you what, the third frame is the easiest shot you've thrown is you just got away with murder. You got a free shot at a turkey.
And if you heard him in the interviews, he spoke about the nervousness he hoped that the competitor, the amateur, would have. So now you make the mistake early. Now he's more relaxed, saying, hey, just all I got to do is just throw it out there and I'll be fine. He's taking the pressure off of himself.
Too many singles left standing spells bad news when you're facing off against Tommy Jones.
Yeah, but the good thing here is he threw it wide. He could have been looking at a 3-7-9 just as easily as that 3-pin by itself. Hey, a spare here, he's technically only 21 pins down. So, that's the difference in, a solid 9 or ringing 10 in between strikes.
And if there is a silver lining, is that it's early in the match.
Early in the match.
He still has a chance to recover.
Good call.
He's got to get greedy here, not be settling for 25 grand. He's got to be thinking, I want that $100,000 payout. Jerome, you'd be thinking about that 100K, don't you think?
No doubt about it. That's that's the only thing you're thinking about.
Right?
That's it. That's it. That's the goal. But obviously, there's pride goes along with you beating a professional.
Oh, no question.
You got to think that that's a feather in your cap, but you're thinking cash, please.
Yeah, but it's not a $5 match against the pro or pride. You get a guarantee that it mattered.
That's right.
Let's see if he can settle down now, put a strike up on the board, start a string.
That's exactly what he did.
That's what he needed to do.
That'll settle the nerves a bit until Tommy Jones strolls up there.
Well, you've got to show Tommy Jones you're going to be in the match. If you go out there and you don't put those strikes on the board, now he's saying, hey, I can just go out there and just throw it without any pressure. You want to keep that pressure on him.
He gave that little extra something, didn't he?
Yeah, he absolutely loved that one.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it.
He is one of the best bowlers on the planet, bowling from the lead. I've watched it. That's why he's on my Dallas Strikers. Not to mention he can throw it, in the 10th frame. But when he gets a lead,
it's tough to beat.
Boy, you got to have some help from him. You almost have to have
you need
bad breaks to happen.
You need a break.
And Jason Belmonte didn't get that in the semifinals, did he?
He didn't.
And I would suspect that Garrett probably won't get that here as well.
But like you said, Jerome, he's got to be within striking distance if he does get that window, be able to walk right through.
That's right. That's the possible break. That's the break.
Well, this is exactly what happened in that amateur semifinal. Is Luis Gonzalez left the door open, and
that's right.
Garrett Chauvin showed that he could deliver.
Right, save for the commercial break, which may have caused the last.
Yes.
I just said he was one of the best with the lead ever.
The North Duke jinx.
What do I know?
He just got duped. He got duped. Wow.
Got a shot.
Oh! Wow! Wow!
Happy New Year, Tommy Jones.
Oh my goodness.
Tommy Jones may have left the door open momentarily, but he comes up with this shot and slams it shut on Garrett Chauvin. Much more of the Bowlero Elite Series after this. This telecast and its contents are owned and copyrighted by Bowlero Corp and is broadcast for the exclusive private use of our audience. Any other reproduction, retransmission, or use is prohibited. Bowlero and its affiliated marks are exclusively owned by Bowlero. And our thanks to the VIPs in attendance, including CEO Bowlero Corp Tom Shannon And none other than Coley Edison, the president of the Elite Series, for making this all possible. We also can't forget Carissa Del Bene and her incredible team who have helped us put together this broadcast.
All right, speaking of heavy hitters, it's now time for the amateur Garrett Chauvin to show what he is made of. He has got to step up here and really try, try and keep pace with the pro in Tommy Jones. Yeah, right now he's down by 28, but he's got the hammer up. So with 2 strikes here, he can pull it within 8 pins. I think that this is a critical moment in the match where he has to show his hand. Commercial break.
Yeah. It just seemed like he threw that one in. It had no life in it at the end.
Yeah, he did. He turned it early just a little bit, and then it kind of fell off his hand where he had turn, but no lift.
Yep.
That's no hook. That's skid the whole way. That's why we're looking at a bucket. The only good thing about this is he's on a strike, and so he doesn't lose count yet.
Right.
Hook.
He's talking to it again.
The pin whisperer.
The pin whisperer.
Garrett Chauvin.
Just maybe that's a good thing.
He had to have that.
Because the last time he started talking to it, he started to come alive.
It behaved every time, didn't it?
He started to come alive. And it was listening. The ball was reacting to it.
Right now he's feeling some serious pressure, some serious tension. We're talking Jerome Bettis against Norm Duke pressure.
Yeah, I don't want to get duped. Don't want to get duped.
Much better action.
There it is.
Talk about the pop he had on that one, Jerome. It looked good from the minute it left his hand.
It did. He had it right in the slot. He did everything he had to do there. I mean, it was a must-strike situation that he was in.
It really is a must strike for him for the rest of the way out. Tommy Jones plus 28 pins. Fresh off that huge split conversion.
He settled it nicely. No commercial jinx there.
And just like the Hall of Famer that he is, he goes out, he takes advantage of the spare, and puts a strike right behind.
That was about as pure as the driven snow.
And you're not going to find a lot of that in Jupiter, Florida.
No, that's right. Needless to say, he's taking his time.
He puts that thumb in and then rotates his whole hand clockwise in order to get it fixated in that thing. He loves it.
It's a walk in the park.
Yep.
And a message to the amateur as well.
Absolutely. You know what that message is? Who's up next?
Who's up next?
Who's up next?
He's doing his job.
That's right.
$100,000 on the line to the winner of this match, $25,000 to the runner-up. We've had one amateur win in Luis Gonzalez in Chicago. In New Jersey, it was Anthony Simonson, the touring pro, that got the win. Who will add their name to the third and final stop here in the Bowlero Elite Series in 2019? Right now, doing his job, trying to keep pace.
He's trying to keep pace.
Well, you know, if he strikes out, he's at 249. Well, Tommy Jones at that point would need 2 more strikes on the string or a spare, and he'd have to go off the sheet. So we still have game if he can strike out. The key is here, he's got to chain up some strikes.
He's got to go out there and put some strikes on the board. Wow. And that was...
Look at that. I mean, just, it's one of the worst breaks in bowling. He threw He threw his haymaker down there, and it was so flush in the pocket, nothing could stand, nothing.
Yeah.
It's bowling.
See the pin action across the face of that pin and then behind it, and somehow left standing.
Wow. Huge break for Tommy Jones, and absolutely terrible for Garrett Chauvin.
Yeah,
Closes it out.
Yeah, when you're Garrett, you're saying to yourself, it's just not my night. When you hit it solid in the pocket like that.
Yeah. And you get about the same score in a frame as Tommy does when he hits that 7 count and makes the spare. Yeah, exactly like you said.
Yeah.
May not be my night.
You get so frustrated.
But you got to put it out of your mind, make the best shot you can.
That's right.
You got to make Tommy show up.
Answering the call.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He did it against Belmo, and he's doing it here against Garrett Chauvin.
That was the silent assassin right there. You know, he's on the right lane, so he knows he has to throw another shot. I think, though, at this point in the match, we're talking about 240 clip to 2-0.
What is that, 39? 39
Garrett has to have help from Tommy at this point. I'm talking 2 opens, not just help.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
After the reaction on that last strike, you can see that
on a house pattern as well.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He's still going to dig deep. I don't care. He knows. Any kind of relaxation, that's where you get the open opens. Good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's feeling it now.
That's a $100,000 screen right there.
Not only is $100,000, he gets to take like that.
Look at this. It's just form has not changed since he got here.
Now it's victory walk in the 10th frame. You know, there's just nothing. That's the best feeling in bowling.
That's right.
Start talking about Garrett Chauvin and the performance he had just to make it to this point, guys. And I know his aspirations are to get on the pro tour and do that. Norm, as a touring pro yourself, what advice would you give him now as he goes away from this? $25,000 richer.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep it up. If you want to play on the tour and some of that $25,000, maybe you can invest in your career, either in massive practice, maybe equipment, whatever it is, maybe more tournaments like he mentioned in the opening.
What I would tell him, is use this experience, use this moment to motivate you through the process, because it's a long process. To think that you can go and just be a pro, that's not the case. You've got to put a lot of hard work and dedication into it, but use this moment, right? And that feeling of that loss, let that drive you through, and now you know where you need to be in order to be a touring pro.
Yes, but same on both sides. He needs to use his experience in this event for the good things he did to get here.
No
then
question.
also the final match.
That's right. Because unlike most sports, this is an individual sport, and your head is a big part of the process, right? And so if you can utilize this opportunity to motivate you mentally, right? Because there's going to be some tough days ahead in terms of getting to where he needs to get. But if you can use this as that energy, that momentum, now that maybe that pushes you to the place where now you can go out and be the pro on the other side.
Couldn't have said it better, Trump. Now he is just, you know, this strikes for mom and dad. There it is.
Does he have the stuff? Norm, does he have the stuff to be a touring pro?
Well, I mean, everyone has the stuff to be a touring pro if you rise to that occasion, if you invest in your craft. Look, I'll never tell somebody they can't do anything, because that's what I'm listening for. One time, tell me I can't.
That's right.
A sign of respect here as they send him off.
I'll tell you what, he's been a delight.
Yeah.
The whole week has been a delight.
Great story. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
thank you, Garrett.
Thank you. And a great showing by Garrett Chauvin out of Denver, Colorado. Bowled at Saginaw Valley State University.
No need to be quiet now. The party's just now got to start.
Tommy Jones is ringleading now. You know why? Because it's $100,000 richer.
No question. The party has begun.
That's what he said.
The party has begun.
Party at
people.
TJ's.
Let's find out if the drinks are on him.
Oh, DJ, we're going to Sizzler.
Well, I'm close enough to know that when Tommy wins, that drinks are on him.
The drinks are on
yeah,
him.
no doubt
Okay.
about it. So he bowled 2 games today. He averaged 272.
That's not terrible.
Guess that's why he's going into the Hall of Fame in
That's
January, right?
That's right.
He's going to modify this one. And still gets it done.
Makes it happen.
The winner of the 3rd and final Bowlero Elite Series goes to none other than Tommy Jones, the 41-year-old from Simpsonville, South Carolina. He's $100,000 richer.
I'll be home soon. Have a happy New Year, everybody.
This is the Bowlero Elite Series. Tommy Jones takes the final title of 2019. Welcome back to Jupiter, Florida, and NBC Sports coverage of the Bowlero Elite Series, where moments ago it was Tommy Jones taking home the $100,000 prize. He's now standing by with Leland.
Have a happy New Year, everybody.
Todd, thank you. With our winner of the 3rd Bowlero Elite Series, the future Hall of Famer. In January, Tommy Jones taking him $100,000. And here joining us, the president of Bowlero Corp, Tom Shannon, and Coley Edison, the CEO of the Elite Series, presenting you with the hardware.
There you go. Congratulations. Great job.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for everything you do for the sport.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Looks like that. We'll hold this.
Tommy, I know this check feels good to hold. It's something that was on your mind. For the 2nd time in your illustrious career, you're taking home a 6-figure purse today.
Yeah, I can't thank enough to Bowlero Corporation, the things that they've done with the Elite Series, their involvement with the PBA, which is where I make my living. Can't thank them enough. They've been great. The fans here at Jupiter, Bowlero Jupiter, they've been awesome all day. Had a great time, and looking home to have a happy New Year with my friends with $100,000.
What does it mean to you to get this right before you're going to be inducted into that Hall of Fame?
Well, there's been a lot of victories over the time to get to the Hall of Fame, but anytime you get $100,000, it's pretty special. So, it'll probably sink in sometime on the plane tomorrow, but right now we're just going to enjoy it and hang out with some friends.
We heard your emotion during the match, and your enjoyment of the crowd will let you enjoy it now. Congratulations, Tommy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Todd?
All right, I've been joined by a few of my best friends here in the Bowlero Elite Series, and what a week it has been here in Jupiter, Florida. Norm Duke, you joined us here for this 3rd and final event. Your thoughts on the Bowlero Elite Series and what transpired tonight?
What a culmination of the 2019 Bowlero Elite Series. In fact, it's bowling that is winning the most. We're on a roll. We've got the momentum. And thanks to Bowlero for their purchase of the PBA, for this series, everything. I love it. Russ?
Well, it just says that, bowling is in great hands. And, Bowlero, what they've been able to do in terms of creating the prize money that these bowlers have been able to play for, that's one thing that's amazing. But also to see where bowling is going, that's another thing. And I think bowling is in great hands right now.
Well, that puts a wrap on the Bowlero Elite Series 2019. Who knows what's in store in 2020? On behalf of Layla Rahimi, Norm Duke, the Bus, Jerome Bettis, I'm Todd Harris, and all of our friends saying Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you next year. For more of the Bowlero Elite Series, we say good night from Jupiter, Florida.